Oh, Tony D back at it. Got a mega micro review session with a special review of Catwoman. I have not read it, but I want to review the cover. That's part of it. So, the micro reviews, try to keep it 2 minutes and under per issue. Just giving you the deets. It's kind of like the Cliff Notes of awesomeness. And, maybe you're on the fence about buying something. Hopefully this helps out. Man, let's jump into it. I bought this Catwoman alternate variant cover. Frank Cho. Beautifully done. Beautifully rendered. Very detailed. I love the white, the red, and the gray tones. When I was in design school, I had a teacher that really emphasized that black, red, and white was always very impactful and simple, and it just always stuck with me for some reason. But as you can see, you have a little niblet of that. And the detail in her figure is so hyper realistic, like it almost looks like skin, like real skin. So Frank Cho brought it on this, and I love how it focuses on her, the detail, and then you pan out to this very simple line work, and I can't imagine how long it took to draw the drapery. Now here's the thing, is that Batman's mask or is that her, like a Catwoman mask? I think it's Batman's. I think she'd be holding on to his stuff. Fantastic cover, love the detail. And when you see detail like that, it's almost an automatic likable quality where that effort is tremendous, and for me it creates like an automatic likability where when you see detail like that takes time, I guess in my mind I appreciate it, which creates that sense of likability. But it's totally love it. And the cover A, it's rocking too. So I'm glad to have both of these. I love how DC does this. If you're new to the comics, DC, if you buy a variant, they also have the cover A there. So that's brilliant of them. So you're really just paying like $1 extra for that. Now, if you're a pure collector, like a key collector, my opinion or viewpoint is that the cover A's alone are like the legit cover, like comic key collector. They'll always list the cover A as the one that is a key. Now, I don't know if they're the be all end all of what the key is or what's not, but I believe it. Like I feel like the cover A is the de facto book when it comes to stuff like that. But don't get too far in the weeds like that. Enjoy your variant covers if they're there. But what I do, if I see a variant cover, I get it. And then depends on the book, I'll go ahead and get a cover A. I don't mind having 2 copies of a book. It's brilliant for their marketing. I have not read this. I might read it and go back, but this was just an art review, so to say. If you're into Catwoman, let me know what your favorite Catwoman story is. I love to branch out. I love to try new things. And everything's on the table, I've never excluded any type of book. Really, I can't think of anything. It's just, it's not resonating, or it is. But how do you know if you don't try? DC's Who's Who. Let's crack this bad boy open. I'll give you the micro review of this. There's a reason why I bought this. My buddy Alex, we met at the comic store. He's new to the hobby. Shout out to him. I'm jealous, man. He's fresh. So all of this is just this wonderful world. It's a great position to be in because it's a great time to be a comic collector. I totally believe that. Get out of the drama, folks. Get into the love of the art and enjoy it because there's a lot to enjoy. So Who's Who's? These came out in the 80s. I had this copy and I read it over and over. For a kid, you can just totally get into this and you start figuring out, okay, I think this person can beat that person because of, and my favorite section was always powers and weapons. So Alex was telling me he's into Joker. And I'm like, all right, very nice. Love it. So I was just in the shop, saw the Joker. You know, I'll do some shout out videos for him. Actually, it'll drop tomorrow, but I schedule all these, so I'll let him know so he can enjoy it. But yeah, the Joker, totally got it for that. And I was reading the powers and weapons, and I was like, what power actually does the Joker have besides being insane? And how can that be a power? Unpredictability? I don't know, but they give you the, you know, an average athlete, hand-to-hand combatant. That was like really standard stuff for these books. And it's, the Joker's occasionally possessed of almost superhuman strength while in the heat of battle madness. Now, is that a real word? Is that something? Thus making him more than a match for the physically superior Batman. So I thought that was really cool. That explains a lot. A lot of writers lean into that for sure. So once again, shout out to Alex. The Joker is a great character to like. For me, villain-wise, mine's Bullseye. There's just something about him. The one thing I love about Bullseye, and this is such a great segue, didn't plan it, but you don't know how he got the way he got, and you don't know his origin. They had a series come out in the early 2000s, Bullseye's Greatest Hits. I'm going to review that later. And everything that he tells you, it's like him telling the story in that book. Turns out at the end, it could be all a lie. So I hope they keep it that way. I don't want to know. I don't want to know none of it. Keep it a secret forever. One thing with the review on Daredevil 25 is, Ahmed's doing the writing. I'm just kind of on the fence with that writer right now, but the artist in this one, José Luis Suarez, I hope I'm saying it right, but man, he brought it. This is really great stuff, like right there. Great artwork. Great to see this. I'll have to research the artist a little more because it was that impactful. So this is actually an important issue. Back to the review part is Wilson Fisk is back. And if you've been keeping up with the series, he had the demon greed inside of him, and Daredevil exorcised the demon, and Fisk was really like, he was on his knees. It's like he saw the light. Very different for that character. And I give it up to Ahmed on this one. I love how it sets up the narration for this book because, see what I mean? The artwork is fantastic. That's what Kingpin should look like. Abnormally large. Look at the hands. That's a good Kingpin. And also the maniac face. So what we find out, Daredevil ain't having this, man. Desecrating the church like that, he don't like it. And Elektra, you know, she definitely doesn't like him either. But so you do have that typical relationship there. Panel work, I'm totally focused on that. I do love the compression of all three characters. You notice you're framed with Daredevil, framed with Fisk, and then you have all three characters there, the crunching of the knuckles, the weapons ready. Great design work. A lot of flow there. So stuff like that, sometimes you really don't know the effect that design has. You just like, man, that was great. And I think subconsciously, stuff like that, you pick up on it. Even if you're not dissecting like I am. I just learned how to do that. Just a lot of it was going to art school and learning that things are not an accident. A lot of things, I mean, almost everything in art is purposefully done. It's part of the art. Yeah, and he's like, this part of the story gets very interesting where Just look how large he is. I love the exaggeration of the size that this artist put on Fisk. And he tells them that the experience he went through changed him. He's almost like the Hulk. But he does a flip and it like throws him off. And, Daredevil's like, well, he's been training. Well, he went on like a mission of sort, a vision quest, maybe. And he had to do some searching after the experience of being possessed by greed. I give it to Ahmed, man. He's turning Kingpin into, it's a good character development where he thinks he can be godlike. I don't know, man. I love the narration it's going to set up for later. I hope they stick with this artist. Look at that. This is really good stuff. So he even seems to be stronger. Like, the artwork is really displaying a very powerful Wilson Fisk, not just mentally powerful, but just physically powerful. And I think we've missed that in Wilson Fisk over the years. He's always been the character that people would overlook or underestimate is the word. And then they would find out, yeah, this dude is all muscle. So it's really good to see him back to those roots. I totally love where this is going. I've been waiting for this too, because this Daredevil run so far, it's been pretty light, folks. And this is the turn, I believe, where we're going to see some good stuff. Hopefully they keep on this. So yeah, Fisk is literally talking about being godlike. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't think it's literally he thinks he could be a divine being like God. Or maybe he does think that, and as we progress, maybe he starts searching for mystical things that could possibly heighten him in that fashion. Yeah, so see what I mean? The narration's wide open. The imagination is turned on, and I am digging it. Also, the relationship. I totally dug this too. These two got to hook up, man. They really, just this one page here, they kind of get the fireworks going again. Daredevil doesn't want to be alone, and she loved the artist, the expression on the faces. It's good. You can see that she wants to be with Daredevil just in the face, and he's tired of being alone. Now, is that a weakness? We shall see. So hopefully, yeah, right there. And Daredevil, the whole history of Daredevil, his relationship with women is Bullseye, favorite villain. He's always used that against Daredevil, so we shall see. So they do have the end for now. So what I'm thinking, gosh, great artwork, is that this book will, oh man, I just want to see this keep going. But I have a feeling that they'll switch to something else, which is okay. But I love the setup with a Kingpin and where he's going, because they left him, like when he was possessed and they got greed out of him, he was crying, stripped down. So Ahmed did do a good job of breaking down the character, and now he's building him back up. So shout out to Ahmed, man. Good job. Incredible Hulk. This is such a mixed bag for me. I'm just on it. I'm being a completist. As far as the review goes, it's just more of the same with this eldest thing. Like, it is just, I don't know how long they can drag this on, but your boy is just not, I don't know. I'm glad I have the series. I believe it ends at 30, and then we're going to go into the Infernal Hulk, which looks promising. Not sure if it's the same writer. I will say the artwork has been great in these books. Travel Foreman did an early issue, which was fantastic. But as far as the review goes here, the Hulk he's with Betty, and they're like in this landscape. Like, I can't even remember how they got here. It's very uneventful. I hate saying that, but I mean, it really is. Brother Voodoo helped him out, and I believe that was the focus, is getting him out of whatever jam he's in. Mission accomplished. This is the turn right here where we find out that it's not really Betty, it's a possession of the eldest. And it's just, man, I'm just going to tell you like it is. It's just not happening. I mean, there's the artwork. That's what I'm talking about. If anything, the artwork has kept me coming back. But they've even had multiple artists, like I said. But yeah, for me, it's disappointing because I want to like it. And when that happens, it means it's just not happening. So I do dig the Abomination. Hopefully this is, something. And the Infernal Hulk looks pretty good. I don't know if they had the teaser in here with that. I don't think so. If I see it in another book, I'll show you. But that looks promising, actually. But on the positive note, I will say this. I'm glad I have every issue of this run. It's, there's some key stuff if you're into that. But it's just, I mean, there's nothing for me to grab onto to want, oh, I can't wait for the next issue. I haven't had that resonation. However, do dig the artwork. And your boy loves his art. All right, don't know where I was at on this. I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was looking for comic keys online. And this one popped up for some reason. Love the homage cover. Definitely want to get a cover A for this one because there is a first appearance of a character. And we'll get to that. We'll do the mega review. So I didn't read issue 1 and 2, but I was able to jump in. So I will say this. You can jump in and you'll be okay. So the big arc in here is whether Wolverine killed Spider-Man's parents. So they make that apparent. And Wolverine gutted, he stabbed Spider-Man, and they explain why. But they are being hunted by someone or someones who they're not sure. So they're in the Savage Land, and of course Kraven the Hunter comes to mind, and this is where we get the reveal of, Wolverine tells him hey man, I stabbed you to slow you down so I could speak to you, which is kind of weird, but they get into the whole, why should I listen to you? You killed my parents. So there's some reveal there. I totally dig that. There's always been this mystery surrounding Peter Parker's parents, but so the author's doing a great job, getting down to it, giving you, it's a catch-up type thing too, where I didn't have to have 1 or 2, but I'm going to get them. And they're trying to figure out, okay, we need to focus. We need to do this and that. That's really what they're doing here. And then the action, it's like that. So I dig that too, where it's really quick. And you do find out that Kraven is amongst the villains hunting our guys. So you get this first appearance of a character called Dread Shadow. And for some reason, I'm hooked in, totally hooked into this. And you do get a very interesting explanation as to why all this is happening. And it's, the gist of it is it's more than just defeating the heroes. They know that the villains on their own usually do not come out well trying to defeat, so they've come to the conclusion, yeah, let's join forces and we'll have more of a shot. That, that's basic, but it gets to where they want to show them they're not heroes. It's kind of breaking them down, tearing them down. And I love this artwork. Gosh, I'm probably going to say it's so wrong. I'm just going to say Andrews. Kaare Andrews? It's a really distinct style. I love it. It's great for action. Has a cinematic feel. Very loose. And it's great. So, Dread Shadow, Spider-Man has a plan, and he fools them a little bit. And this is where you find out they have these teleportation devices hooked to their wrists, and whenever they get the upper hand, or you know, they get teleported somewhere. So it's a very brilliant plan. And so there's old Doc Ock, they get teleported to China. I'm kind of fuzzy on that. You'll pick up real quick when you're reading this. So I'm going to do a Benjamin Button, and I'm going to get issue 1 and 2. I want to get the cover A action because there's key things going on. You have a new character introduction, and it may not be anything. It may, you know, but that's what I like to do, you know. So Dream Shadow. What is up with that? We'll find out, because I have issue number 4 looking right at me. So issue 4, I have cover A. We'll get this bad boy taped up, man. You know how I do with the tape. 3-tape Tony. Shout out to Matt. He loves the way I tape my book. So issue 4, cover A. Fantastic artwork. Totally dig this. Like, I'll get some variant covers with this artist doing other things, but they also did Spider-Man Reign. Check that out if you're into the art. So we get more. They're in China with Doc Ock, and you're getting more of narration, like why this is going on. It's to break them down, show them that they're not heroes. It's more than just a defeat. It's a mental defeat. It's really interesting to see Wolverine fight Dr. Octopus. So Spider-Man gets teleported, and we're back to Dread Shadow. What a cool name. And so they're fighting it out, and he finds out Dread Shadow knows who Spider-Man is, his identity. And it really freaks him out. And so that kind of gives you more. I love when they have a villain and you get little hints like that. Like, well, how does he know him? And Dread Shadow's doing more of this, like, you know, you're not a superhero. And I'm going to show you why you're not. So there's this big push to mentally break them down. And it's curious that it's Wolverine and Spider-Man that they're targeting. Oh, and this is really good writing where he's like, you're not a hero. And he's like, you're an animal. And it's just, I love the back and forth. And more of that great panel work. Love it. It's very cinematic. Yeah, this artwork is on point. It gives me a flavor of the early 90s a bit. But it's original. It's great stuff. I love shots like that. So Spider-Man's freaked. He's like, he knows who I am. And he pulls his mask off and he's like, I don't even know who this dude is. So more mystery there. And Spider-Man actually escapes Dread Shadow. Love the web work. You know, McFarlane totally changed webbing back in the day. I don't know how different you can do webbing, but he totally reshaped the game. But man, let's get into this. So our guy, Peter Parker, scientist, he's a brilliant genius level. I would say so. He figures out how to turn his teleportation device into a tracking mechanism and where he can control it. So he pulls our guy Wolverine back towards him. And dude, just love the exaggeration. This artist, the way they do that. They're just in the midst of like just trying to figure out what's going on. And oh man, this is like such a cool reveal. Don't know much about this character. It's Peter Parker's sister. And she has like Wolverine claws. So I'm gonna have to do some research, people. Or if you know, man, like smarten your boy up. So it's more, you get more of that center around he killed our parents. And she has a gun with vibranium bullets. So it's all set up. And she gives Wolverine the what for. Great shot. So yeah, I'm totally digging this series. Like, it's one of those things where I'm doing my research and I run into something and that's how it goes. So I'm totally gonna, I'll probably hit another shop tomorrow and look for a 1 and 2, possibly a cover A for 3, for the sake of it's a key, whether we like it or not. So I'm curious. I wonder who Dread Shadow is. I'm going to make a prediction that it is somehow related to his parents. I think there's going to be a connection there. We'll see. That's the great thing. And man, here it is. The terrifying Crimson Bat. Cost me 20 bucks on eBay. I screwed up. I bought the Prelude issue with the Tim Visual artwork, and Broussard left me a comment, smartened me up on what's going on, and I was like, man, dude, you're just totally screwing up. You need to get into this. So they have a website. I'll put a link in the description, and it is a club. And the artwork, they give a great introduction here. Like, take the time and read that if you do get a hold of something like this. It's a really, I say charming, like a charming story, but it really took me back to the 80s a bit with the style of the artwork. They mention in here that it's like from the punk rock flyers in the 80s. And it's true. It has this charm to it where you're just kind of taken back. And this is really like an origin issue of the Crimson Bat. And oh, it's just fantastic. Aaron Rizzo, the creator and writer, artist. Tam, oh, you know your boy's going to say it wrong. Shigerin. Christine Gail Rios, production. The Facepalm Queen. See, that's funny. A lot of variant covers. So, what I did was, and I'll just give you some niblets without showing the whole book, you know, out of respect. It's underground, and that's what I mean by that. So where I screwed up was I was digging that Prelude cover, and I didn't jump on issue 1. After Broussard smartened me up, I was like, you know, this is what happens. You know, I don't pull the trigger. And they were all sold out on the website, so I had to hit eBay, man. Like, the comic shop's not going to have this. That's what's cool about it. It's extreme underground, and I love it. It's outlaw comic, too. And that's another thing. I collect outlaw comics, and this is a great addition. So, with that being said, go to the site, check out the books. Broussard's doing the pencils for issue 2, and totally check it out. I bought the variant cover he did, which is an homage to House of Mystery. Or is it House of Secrets? I think it's House of Secrets, where it's the cover with Man-Thing on it and the chick combing her hair. So yeah, it's really cool. Luana Vecchio does one, and she is like, she's a great artist. Totally dig her art and her writing. So I jumped on that. Tim Vigil did one, so I got that. And also, just a plain cover A. So I have 3 of the variants. I think 2 are like Virgin, but they give you a lot of offerings there, is what I'm like getting across. So there has to be something that you like, is what I'm saying. And they're great artists. And I totally dig the effort. I'll give you some more of that punk rock flavor. So yeah, here's like a villain. And you know, it doesn't have to be a deep story. I totally, see, this is like what I mentioned earlier. White, black, and red. Design school. It's very impactful in this book, and this is an origin issue, and it's pretty cool, man. You're introduced to this mysterious character, and it has that Misfits flavor, the band. So all around, it's a fun ride. For me, I like it because it's so underground, and I love outlaw comics. It's like one of those things where when a band would come out and nobody liked them and you just felt like it was yours. It's kind of like that with comic books. So I'm totally digging it. I'll buy a bunch, man. The support is totally there. Yeah, so when I get those pre-orders in, man, we'll get some more action there. So A lot of good stuff. Great time to be a comic book fan, and peace out.